Hello students, so very good evening. Once again Dr. Mahesh here. Today we are going to discuss about life cycle of plasmodium, that is nothing but malarial parasite. You need to understand, so malarial parasite is not a bacteria or fungus, it is a protozoan. Okay, so there are 4 different species of plasmodium. Okay, plasmodium is very common name. Okay, so but we have 4 different species. They are all cause different type of malaria. Okay, that is the first one is very famous is Plasmodium vivax, the Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium ovale, and Plasmodium malariae. So these are the 4 different species of Plasmodium. Okay, the most abundant and most commonly infected malarial parasite are Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium falciparum. That you need to understand. But when it comes to the life cycle of Plasmodium, the life cycle of Plasmodium is very complex because it needs 2 hosts. Okay, so it is a parasite and it needs host. There is a 2 host. This type of life cycle is called digentic host or digentic parasites. Okay, it needs 2 hosts. Like one is the primary host is human being and secondary host is mosquito. Right, so that in man, especially in human beings, asexual reproduction takes place, and in mosquito, sexual reproduction takes place. Hence, it needs 2 hosts, so that if it lost any one of the hosts, the life cycle will not be complete. Okay, it will die. So let us directly move to the life cycle of Plasmodium. Okay, it is a very complex. So that the first thing is, especially in human beings and as well as mosquitoes, this is the very schematic representation I am going to show you. So any malarial parasite which is getting infecting so within the human beings, it is always in the condition of sporozoite. Okay, sporozoite. Sporozoite is an infectious form of malarial parasite. Okay, so it is always in the form of sporozoite. Okay, so human beings, any human beings, they will get infected with the malarial parasite through the mosquito bite. Especially the mosquito is female Anaphylis. Okay, so it is a very important vector. So this was first discovered by William Ross. Okay, in the 18th century, I think 18th or 19th century. Okay, William Ross, he was a British medical officer who came to India for the administration purpose, but he mainly concentrated on the the mode of transmission, that is called epidemiology of malarial parasite. Okay, so finally he got to know that the mosquitoes, especially female Anaphylis mosquito, they are vectors for malarial parasite to get infected with to the human beings. Okay, that's a very important thing. So any human being who is getting bite from the infected female Anaphylis mosquito, this mosquito is going to release the infectious, sporozoite. Okay, it's a malarial sporozoite. Through bloodstream, these sporozoite is capable to reach to the liver cell. The liver cells are nothing but hepatocytes. Okay, so it secretes certain enzymes which dissolve the cell membrane of hepatocytes, and finally it gets enter into the hepatocyte, and they increase its cell size and undergo one stage called schizont. The schizont, this malarial parasite, it increases its cell size, cell mass, okay, inside the liver cells or hepatocytes. That condition is called schizont. Finally, it undergoes asexual mode of reproduction. That is a very important thing. You studied about asexual mode of asexual reproduction, various asexual modes of reproduction. That is called multiple fission. So multiple fission will take place here. Okay, in hepatocytes, these malarial parasites undergo multiple fission. Okay, and form many number of other malarial parasites called cryptozoite. Okay, there is a transformation of sporozoite to cryptozoite. Right. Finally, these cryptozoite, so they undergo rapid multiplication, and finally it lyses the hepatocytes. Okay, and they start to infect with the new cells. Okay, you need to understand in malarial parasite life cycle there are 3 different cycles are there, especially in human beings. There are 3 different phases takes place. One is Pre-Erythrocytic cycle. Before getting infection with the erythrocyte, or we see some of the events takes place. Okay, that is called pre-erythrocyte cycle. This starts from getting infection from the mosquito, like sporozoite to cryptozoite. This will take place, okay, in pre-erythrocyte cycle. Then another cycle we have, that is called Exo-Erythrocyte cycle. That is, the newly formed cryptozoites, they start to infect with the new hepatocytes or new liver cells. Again, the same procedure will continue, okay, getting infection, undergoing Schizon condition, again multiplying its number, okay, and they will get transformed into cryptozoite to metacryptozoite. See, so these cryptozoites, they are getting, right, infection with the new hepatocytes. Again, they undergo the same stage and form numerous cells. That is, the count of cell is 1000 cells per thousands, so parasites per single hepatocytes. Okay, even the cryptozoites also. So that, and so metacryptozoites also. So each liver cells having more than 1000 newly formed parasites. Okay, so cryptozoites as well as metacryptozoites. This cycle, right, getting infection from cryptozoites to new hepatocytes, this cycle is called Exo-Erythrocyte cycle. Okay, then after that again, so they start to increase its number. Okay, again they rupture the liver cells. So once again, these metacryptozoites along with cryptozoites as well as metacryptozoites, okay, both they will get enter into the bloodstream and started to get infection with the RBC cells. So the events which taken place in the RBC cells, these events are nothing but erythrocytic cycle. Okay, so here is a very important changes will take place because this parasite undergo many different stages. Okay, we will discuss. Okay, when this parasite like metacryptozoites or cryptozoites, when it infects the RBC cells, okay, again undergo nuclear division and to form one stage that is called tropozoite. They become tropozoite. Okay, so again this tropozoite, okay, during the transformation, it forms a large vacuole. This large vacuole, they start to push the parasite nucleus to the peripheral place, right? So this stage is called stagnant ring stage. You can see the formation of vacuole. This vacuole pushes the nucleus to the periphery of the cell. Okay, this stage is called stagnant ring stage. Okay, then after this, again it will get transformed into amoeboidal stage. Okay, so it is going to lose the shape. The shape will become very flexible like an amoeba. Okay, there actually you can see some of the components or fragments, that is called hemozoid. You need to understand. So this tropozoite, when it get infected with the RBC cells, it is going to consume the hemoglobin. Okay, the hemoglobin, which is made by two important things. One is polypeptide chains. It start to consume the proteins as well as it start to consume the iron also. Okay, so some of the iron, they are all get converted into the remaining non-oxidated iron. They will get converted into toxin fragments or toxin molecules. They are called hemozoin. Okay, it start to release the hemozoin, so that you can see in the amoeboidal stage. Okay, again it get transformed into amoeboidal state to merozoite, so that it is going to increase its number through a sexual mode of reproduction, that is multiple fission. Okay, so finally it ruptures the RBC cells. Okay, all the merozoites, okay, so they get released. Again these merozoites, they start to attack on the new RBC cells. Again from RBC cells to again tropozoites, stagnant stage, amoeboidal stage, again merozoites, again they will get infected with the other new RBC cells. This cycle will repeatedly it will go. Okay, so in some stage these cells, they halt their multiplication. Okay, they stop their multiplication. And some of the merozoites, they will get transformed into two different cells. Some of the merozoites decreases its cell size where inside you can see that large nucleus. Okay, and another some of the cells, they will get transformed into larger cell, but inside they have smaller nucleus. So these cells are called microgametes, as well as that is called microgametocyte, as well as macrogametocyte. Okay, so that all these things will take place, all these steps, all these phases that will be taken place in the human beings, from starting getting infected in sporozoite to the liver cells, and then formation of microgametocyte as well as macrogametocyte. So that so that you need to understand, this is all these events that taken place inside the human beings, especially in liver as well as in RBC cell. Okay, next stage. Okay, say for example, when mosquito came and they start to bite and suck the the blood from the human beings, that will be suck the blood from the human beings in the stage of all these things, whether it may be propozoite stage, stigmate stage, or amoeboidal stage, or merozoite stage. Okay, it start to suck it with other part of the events that take place inside the mosquito. Okay, mosquito. So that in mosquito, what happens, say for example, if it sucks a stage like the merozoite stage, okay, it is going to produce microgametocyte as well as macrogametocyte. So these microgametocyte and macrogametocyte, they will get converted into male gamete as well as female gamete, male and female gamete. So that the so formed male and female gamete inside the mosquito, okay, they will get fused together and form a zygote. Okay, this zygote undergo transformation to form a fertilized cell called ookinete. Okay, this is all these phases will take place in the mosquito. So this is called sexual reproduction. So that asexual mode of reproduction takes place in man as a primary host. So it is going to form a different types of cells through asexual mode of reproduction, especially by multiple fission. Okay, but sexual mode of reproduction taking place in the mosquito, that is the so formed microgametocyte as well as macrogametocyte. Okay, inside the mosquito, they will get fused together and form a zygote. This zygote transformed into ookinete. It's a fertilized type. Okay, so again this forms propozoite. Okay, this ookinete form, what is that? Sporozoite. So it is always in the condition of sporozoite condition, especially in mosquito. Once again, the mosquito came, okay, and start to bite, okay, and suck the blood of the human being. It is going to release this infected sporozoite. Again, this sporozoite infects the liver cells, and the phases will be, or the events will be continue. You need to understand. Okay, say for example, the bursting, right, here merozoites, okay, and formation of hemozoites. So that the bursting of merozoites, okay, from the RBC cells and attacking to the new RBC cells, during these phases it also releases hemozoite. When it is going to release the hemozoite, bursting the RBC cell into the bloodstream, this hemozoite, the release of hemozoite, that is a primary indication of shivering during the disease condition. Any human being getting infected with a malarial parasite, so when you're getting the shivering, that you need to understand. So there is a release of hemozoite from the RBC cells. This hemozoite makes the shivering, followed by consequent events, that is will takes place high fever. Again the fever, the profuse, dropping of fever. This makes the altering of homeostasis. Okay, that is what this disease is, very epic disease. Okay, it is a historic disease. You can see this malaria from Alexander till now. That is what it is, a epic disease. Okay, or historical disease. So again, so you need to understand about the what is that? Life cycle. Okay, life cycle of plasmodium. This is the life cycle of plasmodium. Okay, if you have any doubts, so you can make a comment and you can make any clarification. I will go through it. Okay, thank you so much.